Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let me get all this cleaned up. Welcome to a live stream. My name is John Limco. Let's see, let's get Unify up and running over here. Hello, Unify. Let's get the keyboard so you can see. Oh, we're not seeing keys yet. Not yet. There they are. And then where is my ugly mug in the screen? Let's go over here. Push a button. Ah! Hey, hello, welcome. Hope you are all doing well. Thank you for joining me for a live stream here this Saturday. My name is John Limcool. This is the Plug-in Guru live stream. I actually don't have much of an agenda. It's been kind of quiet. I want to show you the update. Both I can show you the Unify update. I can show you the update just released for the cutting edge synth-based library. Came out really, really, really cool. There's some pretty massively large sounds in this library now. Some of these have really fun knobs where you can And if you wanted to take these crazy and deeper and farther, all you have to do is just go to some of these and play with tunings. Let's go plus 12 on some of these and plus 19. And let's do plus 7 here. Different chords. Each one of these is a separate 4 oscillator sample from the mono poly behind me. There's drone versions. So if you're doing cinematic film music, we got you covered. There's now 205 patches. All that kind of stuff. The library is $49 retail. It's got 2 more days at $39 at the website. So grab this if you want. There's all sorts of stuff. I also made, by the way, a whole series of OBX patches. And then maybe the coolest one of them all. One note. Monday, warrior. And this is using a single OBXD to create the sound. I'm not going to show you the parameters of this. I did some special programming techniques to get it to sound like an, I believe the original was done with a 4-voice OBX. So, Frank, Unify's been spiking on my new M1. If you have one of the newer computers with the newer M1 processors beyond just an M1, if you go to your settings, we have a setting called max thread priority you can turn on. That will force Unify to demand using not to use high efficiency cores. And that should fix that situation. Sounds just a little bit like Tom Sawyer, huh? There's Razor Patch. Goes on and on and on. There's 205 patches. I made a whole bunch of really cool BPM effects and stuff like that. There's falls, risers, hits, all that kind of stuff. If you have only 176, then that's because you have the early version, the first release of the library. Log into pluginguru.com and download the new version and install. All you have to do to install, let's see here. Let's go over here and clean up my mess. If you have, where did I put it? Is it here? I was moving stuff around to clean up before the stream, so I is this synth bass? Here it is. So if you have cutting edge synth bass downloaded and unzipped, here is the .guru file. You just drag it over and you say okay, and it will overwrite all the existing patches and it will add all the new patches, and you will then have 205 patches instead of 176 because I added a whole bunch of new ones in this last week. There's some fun stuff in here for sure. I mean, these have all been cleaned up, and the OBXD Predator in the, what did I call it, in the grass? I seem to have lost Logic for its little keyboard. Right? It's all Unify. So, and you can go over here and mute the drum groove. You can also just go BPM bass up here, and this same version should be available. So you can take a look at how it was created. Okay. So 176 patches upgraded now to 205. There's OBX, that's that sync patch. Really, really cool. Unsettled. Good stuff. So you have regular basses, you have TB303 basses, Razor basses, all sorts of kind of basses to work with. Belches and Serum and TB303s. Turn on MIDI box up here. And if you open MIDI box, you can just hit the plus button to go through different patterns. Right? So there's all sorts of fun ways to immediately start playing. Okay, my sustain pedal is acting weird all of a sudden, it appears. Oh, that's interesting. I had this situation. I came back from the trade show, and the keyboard controller just decided everything was backwards. So it's like, wow. Yeah, it's showing the opposite of what it's supposed to be showing in Show MIDI, but it's working. So well, sort of. Why do these things always happen when there's a live stream going on? When you guys are here, everything kind of falls apart. Oh my gosh. Let's see. So if I go over here, just bear with me for 1 second. Let me go over here to piano and see if we really have the situation that it appears that we have. Go keys. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so give me 1 second. I have to go to complete control. And I know there's an invalid code for that. Thank you. Testing 1, 2. We got that working. OBS is still working. Anytime you get into doing this stuff, weird things can happen. Pedal 1, pedals A. Let's reverse this back to 0 and 127. Okay, now it's working, right? I had to, it's so weird. I had to reverse it for a while, and now I don't. For the whole week, it's been backwards, but I don't know. We just roll with the punches around here, you know how it works. Could you please show how to detach the Unify keyboard? I'm not detaching the Unify keyboard. I'm calling this is show MIDI. This is our MIDI effect. That is a separate MIDI effect. So I have a separate MIDI effect version of the keyboard running, and then I have it running with Unify, so I can be on the knob page or the keyboard page if I want. It's a separate plugin. We don't at this point have the ability to show multiples of our options down here for real time and knobs. That is something looking into the future. We hope to incorporate probably in a paid, updated, new version of Unify, because that's a lot of work to do. So we have done something like 20 updates to Unify since we started in 2020. And we're at 1.9, and we've never charged for an update. And we've had new MIDI effects and so forth. So I expect and hope that what we're working towards will be at some point an update that adds new features that, anyway, nothing to talk about. Hey, Greg, my friend Greg, he just had hip replacement, right? Thank you, Jacobo. That's nice. Yeah, so there's I can't announce anything. There's nothing to announce. I should show you. Check this out. I've bought something for my room from Greg. Greg is, if you guys need to, I don't know how to consult with him, but he mixes Dolby Atmos in his room, and his room is incredible. I got to hear Rocket Man, that I believe he did the mix for it in Atmos, and with everything automated and moving around in this multi-speakers, it was just so beautiful. He sold me his Genelec subwoofer. It's massive. It took 2 people just to get it into my house. It's crazy. Check this out. You won't believe this. Let's see. So, let's see if I go over here. Nothing's easy. Well, we're just hanging today, so I hope you guys aren't in a hurry to go anywhere. If you are, that's kind of what I want you guys to do. If you want to think of some of your favorite tracks, some synthesizer sounds that's like, I wish I had that in Unify. Put them into the comments, and let's look at making some patches that I'll give to you guys as a little free library when we're done with the live stream. I'll bundle it all up. In fact, once we make a patch, we'll make it into a library, and then I'll give it to you guys at the end of the live stream. Let's see. Here it is. So if I go, what's the easiest way to do this? Just give me a second for it to update my view over here. Okay, it's not doing it that way, so we'll do it this way. Here. This. Oh, wait, I can do it this way. I know how to do it. Show you. This is so cool. Check this out. So if I go up here. So this is Greg. And then Show in Finder. All right, so check this out. Here is Greg with this subwoofer, and this sucker, let's see, is huge. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's like factory spec, ready to go. So I've been used to working with my little 6.5 Genelex in the room here. So to add this is going to, I have no idea what it's going to do. I have to prep it right and get it in the right place and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't get the, no, I haven't had a moment to do that, Greg. So. Mother's Finest synth solo sound. Mother's Finest. Let's take a look at that. I might need more information like the band name, the song name. Mother's Finest synth solo. Which song? Because I found the band Mother's Finest, but which song? Godfrey, tell me the name of the song and we'll do it. A whole new octave of low. Yeah, exactly. It's a really accurate subwoofer. It would be very nice to have that available to add. I personally like to mix without. Subwoofers are one of those things that's really easy if you're not careful, that you mix using the subwoofer and you play it somewhere else and those frequencies are missing from normal speakers. Yeah. While we wait for that, take the house down. Yes, it might. So while they're doing that, let me show you something else. If you go to Unify standard library, you are now at 640 patches. If you don't have CC Writer to do sidechain effects, yes. Well, to do sidechain effects, quite honestly, the best thing to use, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go init and then load the Church Steinway as a new Unify layer. And then as I show you in the new YouTube video I just released, if you go to something and you say new Unify layer, that's the best way to dive into CC Writer fun and doing things. Also just for getting things that are all grouped to just one layer to control above. Let's go Unify standard and get just a drum groove, BPM drums. We have a drum groove going here. BPM drums. So I want the piano. I need the drums to not pitch shift around. So if the drums are bouncing around a pitch, you play high, low pitch. That's because MIDI box has something set called note to chorus. Turn that off. And now it's the same pitch everywhere. If I need a side chain, the best way to do a side chain is to use our Dynamics pump house. And then click right into the little graph, go to presets, and I have all these side chain presets. So you can, and here you can shape it. And if you want, you can bring down the depth. So it's just a little bit. And let's say that we add a synth pad to this. Let's go pads. Let's add pad worthy. Let's load this into a new Unify layer just to keep it concise and everything. Check this out. Let's go over here. Let's say add a pump house. So I have it. Now I want to have the same settings as this first pump house. So if you hold down Control and Shift and click the little bullet next to this plugin, that's the same as if you were to click this bullet and go to the operations and say copy plugin state, and then go down to this one, hold down just the Shift key, click right here, and that's pasted it. So now Let's take it up an octave by holding down Option. Here's your transpose key. And what's fun, I can have a different pump house shape. For this other pad because it's a separate effect. You can try all sorts of things out really easily. Right? So that's the way to get the sidechain effect and then modify it per layer by having a separate pump house. Now you can do fun things because CC Writer, if you notice, if you go down here, click the little bullet for the pad. Let's go over here to this yellow pad right here, click Creative and CC Writer. It looks just like pump house, doesn't it? It's got a depth. It's a little different in that it says what MIDI channel and what CC number it's sending on. But by going over here, if I go to presets, here's sidechain, the same settings, the same presets for the curve are here. But now I can go into Unify. Let's do it this way. Let's speed this up because it's at 1 bar. Let's say that. And then to have that shape affect something inside a Guru sampler, we would have to have, right? We can play this filter cutoff right here, right? So let's go over here to this knob, say link parameters. Let's first give it the whole range of pad-worthy Guru sampler filter cutoff. So we've connected the filter cutoff to this. And then all you have to do is on this knob, go assign CC to 20. And now I got the filter. And it's a different shape in that it's coming from here. So I could go over here and I could say, instead of doing that, let's say numbered pulses, say 2 steps down. Oh, I think I chose the wrong one. Numbered pulses, 2 steps down. So I have a pump house over here doing volume, which I can bypass. Right? I hear CC Writer. I can change its shape, do anything I want. Maybe I don't want it to be the full range. I can bring down the depth right here. I could even, anything that's a knob like this, I could assign this, let's say, CC filter cutoff depth. If I go here and say link parameters, I can go full range, go to the plus button, go to that instrument number 3, to the MIDI effect, CC Writer depth. Boom. That is the parameter that now and let's put right next to it a pump house depth. And it's spelled the same. I'm going to give you this patch, so don't worry. All these are going to be going into this bonus library we're making during the live stream. So you don't have to make these. If you want to learn how to do this kind of stuff, go to the depth for pump house. So now I have control. Let's unbypass it. So we have if I bring up depth, that's going to bring up the sidechain effect. Let's reverse this. And we could even get more carried away. Let's do a copy and paste. And let's call this CC rate. Because let's go over here and say link parameters. Now this is already assigned. All I want to do is click this bullet. So I'm going to assign it to a different parameter. I don't want this parameter. I want something else. So go replace, instrument 1, pad worthy, MIDI effect, CC writer, beat division. And as you can see, it shows you where the beat division is at 5. So if I bring this down to 5, now I have that. So I can play the division if I want. Cool. So I have all these controls to play with. Maybe I want to have the drum volume. So let's go drums, volume. Let's go over here to the linked parameters. Let's use this box. This is 0 volume to whatever the current value is what the medial in the middle of the box means. So we go over here to drums, mix level. And check this out. I can even change the order around. And when I go back to that knob, it knows that I moved it around, so it's still set to drums. I can change the order around. And I want to have reverb. So let's go over here to layers. Let's add an auxiliary effect. Reverb. I really like the Dragonfly Hall presets. Let's say like maybe the let's go like natural string hall. Put that on the piano. And of course, at the output, we don't have anything protecting the output. So let's go to master optimizer light, and there, now it's got a little bit more edge to it. Hold down Option and turn these down just a little bit. Now I like that value. I like that value. So I think I need some steps. I don't want it to be gradual because there's a couple of those in there I don't like. So we can fix that. Let's do this. Let's go to this range and right click and say load curve preset. And let's see this as a list so it's easier to read. These are steps. Let's say 3-step curve. So that gives me 3 values. So I have the first value, which is way too slow. Let's say 1. That's still too slow. Let's say the first one we want to have 3. And then when I move up to the middle part, and then I don't want that, I want 5. So I made my 3 values. So I don't have those in-between values because this is a case where I don't want to have it going into the 2 and the 4 values. So it's just going to go from 3 to 4 to 5. Just keep those. So 6, 7, and 1 and 2 are gone. So What else should we do to this? Will there be a further development of CC Writer in the future? For sure. There's other things we want CC Writer to do, but I'm not going to get into those details right now because that's not something to get into. But let's save this to this new library. So we're going to call this a new library. This is, oh wait, not user, new library. And we'll call this the live stream. How do we want to call these? We'll call it live stream and then the date. How about that? 11/12/22 bonus patches. So whatever we do in this live stream, I'm going to put them into this library called this, okay? 11/20/12/22. This is 2022, right? Okay. This is piano pad. Let's see, key, BPM key. Well, we'll just call it key because the drums you can turn off if you don't want them. Piano pad pumping. So we have different ways of doing pumping with this, right? And this, we'll call it category of keyboard and grand acoustic with a pad that's analog and synth. Using CC Writer and Pump House to make a flexible pulsing side chain pad. Replace the piano layer with anything you wish. Okay. Macro knobs for pumping depth and rate. Save as, save. Boom. First patch in our bonus library. Okay. So if you guys have any, I want to make some patches, show you guys how we can make patches and get them to you for free. So I thought it'd be fun. Show Unify in use, targeted at trying to make stuff usable. So if you have a favorite song, tell me the artist, the name of the song, even like when in the song you hear the sound that you want to have created, and we will make it. While we're waiting to see from a list, I'll show you a couple other cool things with Unify 1.9. Remember, if you go up here and type 1.9, it will show you the 38 patches that are updated with the library with 1.9. This includes such things as life cycles, which is really fun to work with. This shows CC Writer in effect. There's a new video I just released where I did 4 patch examples of how to use CC Writer in different ways. This is using CC Writer, just doing a simple, it's just starting at the beginning and going to the top. Linear, there's no change to the rhythm per se. It's very smooth the whole way. And then inside of this knob, I've made some rather complicated and tricky setups for each of the 4 layers for when their master level comes up and down. So maybe I want that wow at the end to play through the whole thing, so I could just double click to get rid of all of these. And then click and drag here and then get rid of this one. And then add back and go like this. And now that wow is gonna. And maybe I want the first sound. You can shape when each of these are going to be, they don't have to respect, just, this is what's so cool with CC Writer is that the concept of an LFO, let's do it this way. If you go to, let's say, new empty layer, and we go to any synthesizer. Let's just call up something like Serum, since it's pretty straightforward to use. Serum. And let's solo this just as an example, right? Here's its LFO. Think of it like CC Writer, right? And if I want, I could turn on the filter, and I can click right here and then drag over here, and it's now attached. And it's doing this shape. Now, if I want, I could also have this doing something to, I think I can do it to unison. No, I can't do it to unison here, but I could do it to detune. So I can have this set to be a, right? But I can't have this unison change slightly different or in different ways than the filter cutoff. They're all tied to this LFO. And if I change this shape, they all have to respect this change, right? The detune and the filter are both forced to, there's only one stream of data. And they have to both respect that. What's different inside of Unify with CC Writer is that this is doing just a simple linear shape that's moving this knob. And then what happens to the parameters for each parameter in this list, they can have their own shape for what they're going to do. So let's get rid of these guys to make this really simple. And I could say I want to start at the minimum and max for layer 1 mix volume and for the second mix volume. And then I'm going to invert that. And I'm going to mute this. So I have already, just by doing that, I'm doing something you can't do in Serum. You can't have one modulation source that's doing this shape also do the opposite shape to a totally different parameter. In Unify, we can. Right? It's crazy. And I could go over here to this sound that's doing its thing, right? And let's say for this parameter, I want to go over here and I want to assign mix volume for this parameter. And I'm going to go over here to load curve, and I'm going to do something really crazy. Go to presets and choose even something like pump house curves, and go to the rhythmic pulses, not those, but the numbered pulses, and say, give me 2 down. So now this one's doing a whole different shape, 3 different things. That's something you can't do anywhere else. And so CC Writer, sending out MIDI CC, and then Unify's knobs being so flexible opens up the door to all sorts of insanity being able to be done. And it turns out, I have found out that modulating these volumes, this causes some problems because you hear some stepping because of the way the MIDI resolution is working. If you go over here to each one of these and layer 1, instead of this, let's have it do master level and go to layer 2. In fact, here, check this out. The other thing that we can do is really cool. I can copy this, and because these are all Guru samplers, I can just paste and tell these all to be, I don't have to go through the click and replace and go over here. I don't have to do it that way. And then just set these all at 0 dB. So now the volume pumping like this is starting too high, so and I want this to come sooner. That kind of power doesn't exist anywhere else that I know of. I think Vital can do this kind of stuff. Vital is a synth that has, go empty layer. I have an older version of Vital, but it still should. If you go to the Okay. Install. Thank you. All done. If you go to their matrix page for modulation, well, here, we got to assign something. So let's say we want to turn on the filters and we want this LFO to be controlling like the filter, right? This. When we go to the matrix page, they have a curve shape. This is like what we have for the incoming data values from 0 to max to be rerouted. Most synthesizers don't let you do this. So Vital is one of the few ones that gives you this ability. Really, really cool. But by doing that, inside of the way CC Writer and Unify works, it just opens up some huge doors. So yes, Mod Writer, yeah, CC Writer. Well, all of our knobs could be considered the Yamaha Mod X knob because any knob can be assigned to an unlimited number of parameters. So none of you guys have given me any patches to program, huh? Vital, very good synth. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, so Vital is very good. Now, if I wanted to, check this out. I could go over here. Let's disable this, bypass all here, bypass all here. I could go up here, say MIDI effects. We're just gonna have fun doing crazy programming stuff today. So I'm gonna hold down Control and Shift and click to copy that CC Writer. Go over here, let's add CC Writer, and then Shift click, gives it the same shape as it was before. But instead, go right here and say, go to MIDI 1. And so both Serum and Unify are now listening to CC Writer, which means I could now go to Serum and I could, well, actually, you know what would happen? It's almost better to do this inside of a Unify layer because the real fun comes when you can assign things to a knob so that one knob can control lots of parameters. The other way you can do this is you could go to Serum and you could right click and you could say MIDI learn, and there it'll immediately pick up on CC Writer streaming so that, right? But I might not want it to be that exact shape. So let's say reset control. Hello. Remove MIDI CC. So if I wanted to do this the way I'm thinking, I would go right here and I would say Unify layer and now call up Serum inside of a Unify layer. And right? Let's give it some unison. And I wanted to play with the stuff that's going on. Now that it's a Unify layer, that means I can go over here to this knob, link parameters, and I'm just gonna call it up. So we go Serum, and filter cutoff is right here. And it's not working yet because we haven't told this knob to listen to channel 20. Go assign to MIDI CC 20. And if I want, just examples. I'm showing you examples of how this works. See how you can click and add extra breakpoints. It doesn't have to respect just the shape of the LFO. The LFO and the knob are now two separate lookup tables of values. So you can have the absolute of the CC Writer, but on the knob itself, I could reverse it. I can go, no, I wanted to go up. Off you go. Cool. All right, Lal's got some. Okay, cool. We got some patches. So you get the idea, right? The real power is to first make an empty Unify and then start to play inside of the empty Unify, because that way you have this whole bank of 32 knobs that you can set up. I could have, you know, the other thing that's really fun is go to our unified libraries from inside of a Unify layer. This I cover in this video that I made as well, because these are all set up. I like that. I want to play with that. Assign to MIDI CC20. Let's do this. Let's go up here and let's add a second creative CC writer, but send out on CC21. Let's go to the presets. Let's have this just do a 4 steps down, and I'll just vary them a little bit so we have a little bit of more of a like a dynamic changing and stuff like that. So now I could go into this Unify layer and instead of CC20, assign this to CC21 and watch what happens to the knob. Boom. It's immediately listening to channel 21. And I can go to the link parameters. I can change the shape. And what's fun with this is I could go to other things like I like that. So let's go assign that to CC21 as well. And let's say it's not doing what I want it to do. I want a really cool, huge reverb that's going to be played with. So go to the effects, turn on reverb. Let's go down here. This should be 0. Cool. So I got this cool. So now I can go over here to the knobs and say link parameters. Give me the full range of serums. I got to move my camera probably to see where LFO bus reverb. Effects, reverb, is it level? I guess level. Oh wait, verb size, wet, verb wet right here. And then go over here. Let's name it so we know reverb. And then assign this to CC21. Or you can go over here and say, I want it to be a whole different one. So let's make another CC writer, creative CC writer, curve. I want the shape to be a saw down, starting high, going low. But I want it to be like, oh, it's getting confused because this is going to CC20 as well. CC22. So now we can go back to this one and say assign to CC22. See? You can have as many CC writers as you want. If you put them as a separate MIDI effect above everything else in Unify, then it can talk to everything that you have inside of Unify. And if everything's inside of Unify layers, then you have control over the shape and crazy stuff like that. Can we set a knob parameter to be controlled by several different CC sources? No, one parameter, it can only listen to one MIDI CC number. You could broadcast that CC number from different sources, but as soon as you assign a CC writer, it kind of grabs it and doesn't share it. I wanted to try stuff where I had like a filter that could come up and down, and while that's going to take future development to figure out how to do an offset parameter inside a Unify that's different than the modulation parameter, we have to do some deeper level research for that kind of stuff. But right now, if you assign a knob to a CC number, then that's only one CC number it's going to listen to. And if the nice thing about this is that when you are inside of a Unify layer, these can all be set to any MIDI CC number you want, and it will be saved with the patch. The CC layers right here at the top level of Unify are for performance. And so each patch you call up is going to call up this exact same CC set. So each one of these, when I call up this one, the CC writer that's doing here could be a different MIDI CC number than another patch. They aren't the same, you know? Okay, so let's look at some of these patches. Patch requests. Bell type sound at Midnight's Sunset instrumental track. Okay, in the Midnight Sunset instrumental track. Okay, let's take a look. So we get to hear it because this is not a monetized stream. So the Midnight Sunset instrumental track. Is this the beginning bell sound? Oh, about 2:30. Okay, cool. You told me exactly where to go. I love it. I love it. Where we stand, once you came. Let's see. Where's 2? That bell? Where we stand, once you case and half a plan. Follow the wolves and sing along. Right here. Past the voices to the song. They say it's dark before the dawn. That would probably be easiest with FM. It's very clear digital. So I would do this. I would go, do I have any DX starting patches? I did this inside of the bass library. Let's go over here to the bass library real quick. I made a whole bunch of DX patches. I assigned knobs and did stuff. So you could take one of these. This way you have lots of parameters set up. Let's get rid of the sub. We don't need that for this. Uh-oh, what did I do? And then open this up. This is good for bells like that. You know, I'm going to do a shortcut because it would take a long time to start from scratch. I would start looking through some of the different libraries of DX7 patches. There's a bazillion of them, and find something where it has some bells. In fact, I happen to have, let's do this. Let's say new instrument layer. Let's go to DX, and I have a plucked bank. So I'm going to hold down Control, Shift, Copy, Shift, Paste, so that I've copied that bell bank into this DX. Find something kind of close. Let's start with that. Then look at the patch. This is a 6-operator patch that's divided into 2 components. 1, 2, 3 make up one sound. 4, 5, 6. So here's 1, 2, 3. Let me hear this for a second. So it's an octave bell. To the song. Let's see, I want to slow down. Okay, slow down. A little bit more harmonic in this first part. Let's mute that. Let's listen to the second component. Let's slow these guys down. There's a weird tuning thing going on here. Let's get this. And turn this down. It's a little bit cleaner though, isn't it? Oh. Something like that, and then they have just a ton of really nice effects on it, so you could bring up the reverb. It's a long reverb, so let's get the take to be long. Less damping. And then let's add a little silky chorus to this. And they actually have one on the bell sound too, modulations. They have a little bit more brightness, so you can slow these guys down. Something like that. We'll save bell. Midnight sunset FM. And we're going to save this to the Livestream library. It's a bell. FM, expressive, and DX. We'll put those in there for the lookup keyframes. Save as save. Go to our Livestream library and hopefully it's there. So there's a bell sound. The melody keyboard in Phil Collins' Another Day in Paradise. I love that song. Another Day in Paradise. Phil Collins. That sound? You could almost use this bell with a different envelope. Check this out. So a lot of this has to do with, let's shrink this down. Let's get rid of the reverb needs to be shorter, so room size. There's a nine. The big thing that really makes this stick out is a delay. So what is this? We got chorus. Do we need... Put delay. And we want them both to be eighth notes. Darker. And then let's do this. Let's say duplicate this layer. And let's go Unify standard Guru sampler. Maybe a guitar. Let's go high pass filter. That's not quite right. It's that type of a really, it shouldn't ring out so long. So let's fix this. And bring down, is this the and let's have this also have some chorus in the delay. Okay, that's just wrong. So let's see here. Maybe another bell sound, because it kind of has, it's just this little bell attacky thing. So if we go Mega Magic Bells and Winds, it has that type of cool, unique attack. I would probably go over here and instead of delay, let's go filter max. High pass, get rid of that knock. And then maybe put in a delay after this, like the sample delay. So you can get a little bit of timing. In fact, you know what might be fun is instead of that, do this, say no effect. And instead, this is where something like jitterbox is really fun. Add a jitterbox, give yourself and their reverb is shorter and warmer, so we would dampen it. and use less of it. And if there's still too much low end, you can go down to, this is why we put a flex EQ at the end, so that you can use this to clean up. Now, you could play around at this point with the bell. That's nice. And then put a little bit more jitterbox. And the top can ring out just a little bit more. So let's go a little bit slower. How's that? Kind of close? And again, you could change to whatever bell sounds you want. So this is the bells and winds bell. And this is FM bell. And go save bell. This is another day. Mr. Collins. Save as. Save. So I'll give you guys all these patches at the end of the live stream. We'll put a link up so you can download them. I think there's an underlying bass as well. It's another bell sound, yes.
She calls out
Yeah.
to think about it.
There's definitely something else, and it might be too bright. This might be one of those cases once you get to working in the mix. Bring down, did you see the trick I did? EQ, the best way to find out something you want to get rid of is to first crank the EQ and find the frequency that's offending you. Like, there's all this crispy stuff right there. So by bringing up the EQ to the max, I can really accentuate ooh, I don't like that. So now I can get rid of that. In fact, there's another frequency in there that's kind of bothersome. Right about there. Okay. And there might be there's like a guitar plectrum kind of a vibe to it almost. So you could say duplicate the layer. Go to Guru Sampler. Here, let me solo just this guy by itself for a second. Let's further refine this for version 2, okay? We will keep version 1. We're going to go for version 2. Let's go back to guitars. Not sitar. We have some sitar stuff. It's not the mute. It's almost like that, right? There's just something else in there that's adding to it. I can hear it. I don't know what they did to the layering. It's not quite the right vibe. I like that. There we go. Save version 2. Well, let's call this version 1. I like this better. So go save as version 1. And now this other one, I'm going to go over here to the name and go save as version 2 and update so that it updates the patch. Now, the confusing thing with our system is we need to go reveal it in the Finder. And I'm going to name it here too so that they're the same. Version 2. By doing that, I now need to go over and rebuild the database because when I try to load this patch, you'll notice it skips over it. It won't let me load it because I've broken the connection between it and the file. So hit refresh database. It will load up. And now we have version 1 and 2. Okay, so that's better. You guys are throwing some good ones this way. The elephant trumpet brass sound from Talk Talk. Oh, let's check that out. Elephant trumpet brass sound. It's a I love Talk Talk. If you guys don't know Talk Talk, you should know Talk Talk. So it's a shame. Talk Talk. Such a shame. Let's listen. For that? Oh, that. That, right? Oh, that'd be fun. Might take, it's like, how long do you guys want to watch me screw around with modulation in it? Let's try for a minute though. So let's go over here to synth bass. I have these patches.
Such a shame to believe.
Okay, so they're doing a modulation where they're doing, like I said, I'm just gonna do this for a little bit, and if it goes awry, we won't keep trying. But we have it on sync. They were modulating. And then pitch. We hear again. It's a lot with the effects. We could turn on unison, get a little bit more. You know, like that kind of thing. This modulation can't get quite to the frequency range. Let's see. Let's have it do this to. That kind of thing. Let me see how close in tuning I am to. So whenever I need to tune, I'll go empty layer. Then get rid of that puppy. You could add additional things to this. Go to like distortion, degrade. Bring it more delay. You know. Go save to the Livestream bonus patches. This is, we'll call it effects. Talk like an elephant. Effects. And this is using OBXD. Actually, OBXD. Okay. So there you go, kind of an elephant lead. It's funny, after I save it, it's gone. I got to go back over here to. Okay. Let's see what next comes. Yeah, pitch bend slow. You can play with pitch bend to get that kind of stuff. Seems like your pinned Eclipse the one company. Well, there's a couple other companies that make most of the Unify patches we end up distributing, although I think Jason with Northern Lights is going to be doing some like he's working on a library for a library for Unify. Stay tuned. People will announce things as they go. Yeah, there's definitely stuff like that. EP type of sound. EP tape sound in Sandro's. I've never heard of Sandro. I love this because I'm going to get to hear about new bands and stuff like that. So, Sandro Drift Away. Let's play right from the beginning. Wait. We're not playing it. Drift Away. The little sine wave kind of pierce thing. Okay, that's very easy. We have sounds very similar to that to start with. Go up here, like say pure. Let's play with this to start. Actually, you know what? I like some of the stuff I'm doing with the newer patches. I have more programming stuff built in. Let's do this. I want to start with that, but I'm going to change over, I think, to Gugu's sampler. Sine wave. Let's filter it. Then let's listen. You know what? You could almost do this with FM. It would be cleaner instead of being filtered. So let's do that. Let's go DX. Excuse me. Start with that just for fun. It's set to this. Let's go to a different algorithm from here. I like that because I have some controls. So I just want to hear operators 1 to start with. Let's turn everybody else off by turning off their switches. So we're only hearing operator 1. How long is this release? Long. And then we can turn on 3. Speed this up, make it more of an... It takes like only 2 operators. And then the key to this is the effects. So if we wanted, let's get a little silky chorus. What does he have? So there's a delay in there. Now this has a delay with distortion. Let's get rid of that. Let's take this down an octave so we can, and let's give it a little bit more personality. We'll dress it up a little bit more. I have operators 4 I can turn on here. Let's turn off 1. And let's turn on operator 6. Let's have less of that. Detune. Let me see, there's something fading out. And then we need more delay to the omega delay. Let's say low pass. Why do I not hear you, dude? Let's see. Let's turn down our feedback so it's not quite so much. And then he has a reverb right after that to do a splash. So it goes like Zen verb. We which I can get really long reverb right here. Does it? Now I have a little bit more frequency content here, which I can. Yeah, something that gives it a little bit of energy to go into the delay. Something like that. Now, you could play the D tune. He seems to be. And we need 4. Something like that. So nice, pure. And if you play with this, here, let's do this. This is operator 6 output level. So I'm going to go over here. Sub volume, I got rid of that. So I'm going to say Snappy FM. I'm going to go over here to link parameters. And let's go to DX to operator 6 output level. There. So now you can add more or take it down, and then there's less energy into the delays. Right? Okay. And then if you want, you can replace these effects with Valhalla reverbs and all that kind of stuff. But these are just using things inside of Unify, so you don't need anything else. Let's see, am I close? Yeah. Let's do this. We'll let you choose. So we'll say instead of FM tweak, right here, layer 1 attack. That's no longer working right now. So we're going to call this snap pitch. And we can go over here to link parameters. Get rid of that. Plus to the instrument to DX to operator 6 frequency course right there. So now, and I want the maximum range to be really snappy if you wanted, or have it be really dark on this knob. So, and let's see, FM tweak. What was this doing? I kind of want snap to be by this knob, so I'm going to use the copy and swap function. So we say copy knob, paste and swap, which what it does, it pastes it, but it puts that knob into its buffer. So you can just say paste, swap again. And now the two snap guys, call this also snappy, same way. Snappy pitch, okay? And we'll go save as drift away. So this is another bell. We're doing a bell bank today, I guess. Drift away. Opening. And we'll call this bell. And DX is fine. and this goes into the library right here. And it's not a synth bass anymore. Save as, save. So now we can go over here and call it drift away. So we've made 6 patches so far. I think we're about done with the live stream. So how's that? We've got elephants. We've got Mr. Collins in the house. Right? Stuff like that. Do you ever film yourself at work so you can see how you made the patch? I do in my live streams right now, but I don't, as a general rule, do that. Let's see here. As we've been doing a lot of effort programming counseling. Tim, you are too funny, man. Yeah, FM. I love FM. I grew up. My education was on a DX7. Actually, I grew up in Ontario, Oregon, on the other side of the state, where I went to high school and to the community college there and stuff. And when the DX7 was introduced, my mom and dad were Yamaha Electone and piano dealers at their music store, and they had the piano tour. The piano tour is this really nice man named Leon Gravitt. They asked him to come to Portland, Oregon with me so that I could be there for the introduction to the DX7 at the Red Lion Inn here in Portland. And so the piano tuner and myself came, and I spent 3 days learning to program with FM. And so that I had a Mini Moog at home at the time, and I was making baking, frying sounds and stuff and didn't really know what I was doing with it. And that really helped solidify things. And the complexity of FM it's not complex. It's a different way of seeing things. When you look at FM, you're looking down here at this algorithm to see what is happening. In this case like this, it's really easy to read and see. Number 1 is all by itself. Whoever is on this bottom row equals an oscillator. So if you go like this and you set like this is 6 oscillators that are each just doing their thing. And as you go into this type of different configurations, it gets more complex. Some of these in here being the most complex, because here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different oscillators that, well, 3 of them are beating up on number 1. So if we said turn off number 2, turn off number 3. So 1 is being beat up by 4, 5, and 6. Oh, and this is the delayed patch, so never mind. That's init. Here we go, init. Is that right? Well, maybe I won't be trying to show you what's going on, because 1 and 3. Turn off 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, my head hurts from FM right now too, so I'm with you. Let's see, is there anything else? We can do one more. Jupiter 8 responsible for the most of the synth person in the song Elephant Sound. Oh, okay. Jupiter 8 was done for that. Yeah. Something modulating it to get that fast thing. By the way, I did find the bell. D50 patch. Yeah, metal harp. Yeah. Sound and sound will drift away. Let's see. One more. I'll go back up here in the mix of all the requests. Oh, NM84 theme. All right, let's check this out. Angela DeBoer. Let's see. Search. Miami Nights. And this is Flux to Fade In. Oh, it's another FM patch. 1984 Miami, for you guys curious what this is. You guys are into the 80s. Yeah, that's just a DX7 sound. So the best thing I would suggest is going over, if you haven't done so, it's pretty easy to find thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of libraries of patches on the internet. You can right click in this area and say open location, and it will open the place that you put cartridges. And here's where you unzip and place folders that have .syx files, and then just go through. Let's see here. I'm going to find one that has some things. I think, was it Big Mama? Some of these, like even Black Winnie, if we get down to, let me find one that's where there's, a lot of these are organized. Like here, it said bases, basics. No. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, no, not breath controllers, not Midway. Big Mama. I mean, you could go through DX7 sounds forever, but there's some of these. I just, one second. Let's find, somebody has to have, of course, it's in a live stream. I'm going to be like, I don't remember where they're at. Single voices, Ray. And then all you have to do with each one of these, let me get to one of these that's a little bit more organized. Oh my gosh, here we go. Bass, brass, chroma, E, piano, flute, guitar. See if there's any plucked down here. Organs, percussion. Oh. That like real percussion. Okay. Then if you double click, what happens, if you just click one of these, it goes to this temporary bank area. And then if you double click, it loads it down here into the cartridge itself. And you'll find a plucked bank, I guarantee you, that has that type of a bell sound, because it's a very standard FM bell. Let's see here. Turn off degrade so we can... I'll try to find one. We'll see if we can find one for... If I can get close to one. Get me close, man. Get me into the zip code. Ooh. That's close. Let's take a look at what's going on. So it's one of these where the envelopes are really sped up. So you would go through, if you look at this, you've got two sound sources. So we go, that's not doing the bell sound. So get rid of that. And then for effects, see less delay. Use some velocity sensitivity. And then what I would do is I would say add an instrument. Let's go to Guru Sampler. I'm going to choose Plucky Klamath. And then I can change waveforms to a sine wave type of. And then the trick that I hear some of in there, I'm just going to do this really quick. We'll say Hertz, one shot, custom wave shape for pitch, just a unilateral. Get it really fast because I hear this really nice plucky. And if you layer that just softly in here, now it's a little bit more pure. It's so hard to nail FM patches because just a little change of output totally changes the character. Yeah, it doesn't have that high fret. It's a little bit brighter in the second. We might need to track. The real power of the DX7, for those of you that aren't familiar with, is right here, the breakpoints, because you could set up a teeter-totter and then control the volume of that oscillator as it goes up and down the keyboard. Because FM can sound really bad, and you could filter it out by just changing the volume, actually. Let's bring this down. Then I'd need to sequence the part and spend more time with it, but I'm at least in the zip code. So you're in the zip code with that. So let's stop there. And this is Bell MN84 theme-ish. Okay. Bell, and this is using DX and and sine pitch EG. Okay. Save as to the library, save. Okay. So I think that was fun. I love programming, and I just, I'm hoping stuff like this helps you guys see how to make similar sounds inside of Unify. We have access to FM and analog and all these things here to work with. All right. TX816, yeah. I used to love my TX-A16, right? Yeah, TX-A16 was a good experience. I had a TX-216 at one point. I never did get the 816. Yeah, hope this helps. So here, don't leave. Let me give you this library. I'll probably put this up also in a newsletter to everybody. So here's how you build a library. We want this library to be available for everybody to just drag into Unify and work, right? So here's what you do. See how the flow goes, libraries, and this library is right there, right? So we go up to the desktop and go libraries, and we're going to copy this into here. The goal is that this Guru sampler, when you drag it over Unify, whatever's in the libraries folder, it's going to put into the libraries folder. If we happen to use other presets and other things for these other areas, it would actually be able to install there as well. But now we go over here, we say compress this library. This library was called that, so we will rename it bonus and Guru for the end instead of .zip. Done. Now when you drag this over Unify, it says, hey, that's a .guru file. I know what to do. So it says, do you want to do it? So let me go over here to a box of dropness to the Plug-in Guru freebies. And we'll say live stream programming. So I might be doing more of these in the future. I like doing this, and it might be helpful for you guys. So go copy the link and paste. There. And I'll put it in the video description as well. Bonus 7 patch library made in this live stream and a link. Save. So you can download this library anytime you want to work with it. If I can point out the bass cutting edge synth bass library, which has so many cool patches in it. This bass, this deep bass in a mix, it just sounds so good. There's actually a deeper bass. Check that out. And all the cool, crazy stuff. My Moog Voyager is here. Nice, huge, thick waveforms, stuff like that. This library is still available for $39 until tomorrow night at midnight. There's all these really, really cool all these are... There's cool basses, retro basses, Bombs Away is really cool. Sawtooth. Isn't that cool? So there's all sorts of basses from all sorts of genres, 205 patches on sale still, so and then there's a global filter on the third page because I didn't want to disrupt everything else, but you... Now, say you wanted to play with this with cutting with the CC writer, right? So let's hit init, go over here, choose Unify, and then from here, we would call up that patch. Let's go over here and say cutting edge, 64 voice Moog. Go to the top layer, add a CC writer right here that's doing, let's say we want to do a pulse. So you would click in here and go to the presets, numbered pulses, let's say 4 steps down. And then go to Unify and go to that filter cutoff knob on the 3rd page and assign it to CC20, and boom. You're done, you're playing. So then you can go over here to the parameters. Maybe I want to stay longer. And now I could go over here to CC Writer. There you go. And if I want to also play with other parameters, all I have to do is go to Unify to any of the knobs, like say, let's say assign that also to CC20. And it's the wrong range, so you can just go over here. There you go for one side, and I can right click and say copy this knob. You know what I have to do is, why is it only just the distortion? Oh, you know what it is? I'd have to go over here and say link parameters and say duplicate +1. Oh, and I'd have to bring up the mix. So I need to go over here. Whoops. Say +1. There we go. All right, so you get the idea. So just make something into a Unify layer, and now CC writers can talk to the knobs. And all you have to do is right click on any knob you want. Say I want reverb assigned to CC20. And now the reverb is doing its thing too. Cool. All right. Hope you guys got the idea. Thank you for joining. Let's do our shout outs. Shout outs. We did an hour and a half, or we actually went 2 hours. Holy cow. Shout out from Cold PDX. Thank you for joining. I'm glad to see all of you. Also, I should point out, not only is the synth-based library on sale, I have started the end of the year. Boom, boom, boom. End of the year sale is happening. So if you happen to go to the website to the holiday deals, 6 libraries are at 51% off. Cheapest prices for the year. I won't be going anything lower than 51%. Next week, 6 more libraries will be added, and then Black Friday, more libraries will be added. So that grab some libraries while they're on sale. Yay. Thank you guys. You're welcome. Good to see you all. Glad you all are here. Shout outs from, let's see, we got Canada, Liverpool. Nice days. Cool. Michigan. Another shout out from London. Oh, great. Richard, good to see you, man. Kasaka-san in Japan. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. Arigatou gozaimasu. Shout outs from France. Good to see you, my friends in France. Right on, Greg. I love that idea. Good idea. Bruxelles. Hello, Frank. Stanley in Israel. Good to see you. And Irvine. Yes, yes, yes. Cool. All right. Thanks to all of you for joining, and I'm out of here. I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Taylor, for being here. Good to see you. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun. So I hope you guys enjoy the bass, the bonus patches, and we'll do that again at some point. So thanks. Cheers to you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you later.